Hello, fellow faithful. It is Bulldog here, the world's greatest silver analyst. Back a little late this week with my silver analysis of CLG's LCS team. I got an ice cold Diet Dr. Pepper. Let's get right into it. Champ select.
I just want to see comfort for CLG.
So, like, the reason why I'm doing it a little late, Rel first pick, very good for us, I've been working with someone to try and get them to co-host with me, and we had it all set up to go this weekend, had time scheduled to record, and then his power, there was a power outage, so he got it back at like 11 o'clock this morning. This is Monday night that I'm recording it. I was hoping his schedule would free up for him to be able to join me for this, but he has kind of been unavailable, so maybe in one of the later games he will free up and join me. But I'm trying to accommodate him, but I can't really record on Tuesday or Wednesday night. I have prior obligations, so I need to get these done tonight, and I am tired of ignoring Twitter and Reddit and Discord to avoid any sort of spoilers in the game, on the games, so, or Fantasy LCS. I haven't looked at any of those things in like 4 days now, which is very unusual for me.
I know he is more of a fan of the Orianna side of the Orianna Azir matchup. He may take it anyway if he feels like he can just straight up play.
Rel is a power pick for us. I think it's pretty good. Xayah has been coming out as a counter to Kai'Sa quite a bit, and it's pretty good. It goes pretty even in the lane, and has plenty of late game teamfight prowess, has that self-peel. It's not quite as good as the Kai'Sa, but we prioritize the comfort support. I don't hate it. I don't think Azir is all that good right now.
And there are no question marks around flex picks. We know where all of these champions are going, so that means that both
Orianna is what Orianna always is, which is a fine first pick. Like, pretty much doesn't lose any matchup and scales well.
So, I mean, if you want to target top laners, you can continue to do that. If you want to continue to thin out the jungle pool, Graves is still up, Lily is still up. Those are two of the champions that I'm thinking of.
And the jungle pools are pretty big.
Because, as you said, a lot of the most popular already are banned out with some of those run-at-you style champions. Hecarim, another really strong, hard-engaged style of champion. If they're worried about CLG just having go buttons, I think Hecarim is a solid ban.
If I were us, well, TL gets first pick out of this, if I'm correct.
These your ultimate as well with that Hecarim one, so it does make some sense. For CLG, I think that they could just continue to ban out more towards the top lane, try to get an advantageous matchup there for Finn.
I wouldn't fear the Santorin Nibley at all. That's weird.
We'll take away one of the remaining options there, but Lilia is still up if you want an AP jungler, so I don't think that the pool has been pinched so much that it really matters.
Yeah, and I don't know why Olaf is, like, still being banned. That one feels weird to me, because he's been nerfed several times. Yeah, they have the Lilia. I would grab Gragas top lane for us right here. Otherwise, Renekton Elise, that could be something.
23%? You might as well just dodge the queue with those numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I've talked about this, but Team Liquid is a very, very good team right now. Their roster has been together far longer than ours, but also is more talented. So it's going to be a rough one. I don't expect us to win here. I would like a good showing, and it is possible to win, but I'd put my money on Liquid 90% of the time, 95% right now.
At least that we haven't really been seeing in LCS that are pretty strong in solo queue right now, but it will be the earlier Graves.
Going with the Graves, I don't agree with the Renekton. Then I would have preferred the Gragas.
And Gnar also wouldn't be a shocker here. I think being hovered by CLG, this has been one of the go-tos into Renekton for a lot of players. If you don't want
Gnar isn't all that good.
Things like the Quinn, then generally people feel that Gnar
there are definitely better top laners like the Gragas that you could have picked that the Gragas does well.
You really don't have a lot
and has more engage, has better engage, counter engage. Like it would have pretty hard pigeonholed you to magic damage, but there isn't really a tank on CLG.
It's something like a Nidalee. It is something like that, at least from bygone days that you already mentioned. But the disadvantage of having Graves instead of one of those champions, all the damage is the same damage type. So it will be easier for Alphari to build resistances to that, stack up a little bit of armor.
I'm gonna fast forward here. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. Whoa, RJS with short hair is weird. He's no longer just vibing.
We've talked about this a little bit before, how Comet is generally better against ranged matchups. Also gives you more control over the laning phase as opposed to just late game power like something like a Lethal Tempo. Both of our junglers running the phase rush this time around, with Alphari packing the Grasp of the Undying up there in the top side.
So,
better trades.
let's get into this a little bit. This is a pretty clever level 1. We can get the stun. Oh! And we do get the first blood. We do trade 4 summoners, but I mean that's classic CLG. That vintage CLG right there, bringing back the level 1 strats, the really creative ones, exploiting players' tendencies in unique ways, using champions kits to their fullest.
Which, when you aren't mounted, you have that immediate fling back over your shoulder. It's very hard to actually react to. If you flash W from the dismounted stage, you just do that quick little fling. Whereas the mounted W has more of that wind up and is easier to react to. So
yeah, that's just Smoothie understanding his champion. It gives us a pretty nice lead in the mid lane by basically getting rid of a lot of the mana restrictions. It does put us in a bit of a spot in the top lane, since Finn does not have flash. And against an incredibly good laner like Alphari, I would expect that lane to be down a decent amount of CS. I would expect RJS to be up a little bit, but not a crap ton, because Jensen is very good, and the tier doesn't give you like a whole lot of combat power or anything. It allows you to cast some more spells. Allows him to have greater control over things, but and the Graves not having flash isn't that big a deal. We've seen flashless Graves be played before in the LCS. I think Dardark was the one that popularized that. And Smoothie and Turtle will be on the back foot just because they're down 2 summoner spells.
Flash from top laner, flash from the jungler, both summoner spells on the support. So all of these Jensen should be down actually quite a bit because he doesn't have flash. That's relatively significant. Might change how they decide to play this upcoming couple of minutes here in the game.
Exactly, and it can also change how you're laning, right? You know, how does
okay, they're doing a good job of communicating where the Alistar is. They know he's there, so they're being aggressive on the bottom side. They're securing the Scuttle Crab, so they know that Santorin. They now know that Santorin is top side, so Finn should be just playing back
So you can already see how far he's trading so aggressively. You know, he's used his potion, Finn has used his, but he's up in farm, he has the push, and he wants to just constantly trade with that grass buff on the top side to really play it to his advantage. And down here on this bottom side, CLG are trying to make sure that they get this wave to the tower. As that was, I think, an E activation there from Smoothie. It looked like he actually landed the stun as CoreJJ went in for the headbutt pulverize combo and couldn't get the second part of it off.
Finn looks like the anime protagonist who's like just about to snap right now. He's got the camera angle down and everything. But yeah, RJS being down in this lane is not very good for us. He should have a pretty significant lead with the flash advantage. Like he should have a decent lead.
And because the wave was so close,
I'm actually a little surprised the jungle farm is completely even, because the Lilia has a faster clear by a decent amount.
So Wild Turtle had a pretty nice timing on the base.
And I've been seeing that people are going Lucidities a lot more, and holy cow, the solo kill! And Smoothie should have the stun up here pretty soon, forcing out the flash. That's really good.
Gaming, baby, looking good here in the first 5 minutes.
They are looking great. As you see, they had that early base because they reset the wave. So Tactical, I don't even think he had a buy yet.
And we've been really, really good about getting early leads.
They're trying to reset that wave. You can see that Smoothie is actually playing this in the dismounted form. It's the same thing that he did on that mid lane play. And this is
yeah, Smoothie just has an understanding of Rel
they often are using the mounted
that a lot of other players don't seem to have.
Dismounted W. As soon as you mount up, your first hit is going to do that little mini fling, and it's almost impossible to react to if someone flashes on you like that. So
it bodes really well for us, and I see why we first picked it.
And now Jensen is going to be shoved back here. Really good couple early minutes here from CLG. And
I mean, this just pushes it in. RJS doesn't have any kill threat right now because Jensen was able to heal so much from Corrupting Pop, unless he has 2 total biscuits. But this does allow for Griffin to get priority on the Scuttle Crab. It could allow us to... It actually should allow us to start to get priority towards the spot side and go for the dragon. Because RJ... Well, I guess Jensen having ultimate over RJS kind of puts him in a rough spot. Well, puts him in a spot where he's at an advantage and can shove the wave in, because we went for kind of the all-in, and he's just able to heal it all back up. And so we used far more resources than they did.
That's nicely done. A bit of pressure here. You can see that.
Yeah, and that's a good job of our failure to capitalize on our utilization of resources. The timing between RJS and Griffin wasn't great.
But Griffin is going to be pushed out immediately. Won't even be able to finish off a single camp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good counter flash.
Away, yeah. 1 for 1.
Because if that actually lands, even if you flash after, you can then apply the sleep, right? So he had to flash fast.
Yeah, that was really well done by Griffin. Our timing was a little bit off on that. Griffin needed to be closer to be able to capitalize on the ultimate from RJS. He just wasn't.
One of the reasons why Lily is such a powerful champion. As Smoothie is down back here in the bottom lane, is mounted up on the horse though, so doesn't have the immediate engage potential of that unmounted W like you were talking about. But hey, it's not like Flash is ready to go right now either. Both supports still only utilizing the Hex Flash until those cooldowns are ready.
Finn doing a good job of clean vision, and he's down in CS like I would expect in this matchup, especially when the Nard can rush the steel-plated boot caps or the Ninja Tabby. Like, let's be honest, they're just Ninja Tabby. And Alfari is one of the best laners in the world. And Finn actually isn't too far off. He was like 3rd in EU with Alfari and Wonder being there. So that's one of the reasons why he was such a valuable pickup.
The trade does not go well. You're just going to chase him down, and now
yeah, that might be yeah.
Okay, flash.
Yeah, he forces the flash, but hey, summoner spell.
That was just Finn not knowing that there was vision in the bush.
Good stuff from Alfari.
Yeah, he's been laning really well. Alfari is an absolute monster.
And even though we got the kill in the bot lane, we're down in CS a little bit, which is a little bit upsetting. But I think I was going on a tangent. Like I've been seeing people go Lucidities a lot, and the reason why I think
you are at risk of being dove, and
I think that has been going on so much more than before is because there's no longer a cap on cooldown reduction, and a lot of the time the reason you wouldn't get Lucidities is because you would get 40% cooldown reduction in your build anyway. Well, now that doesn't matter. So you still get a lot of usefulness out of it, and it gives you the summoner cooldown and all sorts of and movement speed, and they're cheap. So they're just as much value as, you know, the pen.
He's stuck just shattering his own jungler as they take the Rift Herald. Santorin's gonna walk
why can't it? Sork shoes.
Griffin did pick up that Shelly in time.
But
so more good news here for
they're 200 gold cheaper.
They do have 4 minutes to use that, and only about 3 minutes and 45 seconds of it will.
And that was a good job of getting the Rift Herald there.
End up losing out on some plate money, but I would expect them to be able to recognize.
But they do know that Graves is towards the top side. They have TP advantage. They're pushing in bot. They're pushing in mid. Yeah, there's not much we can do about this dragon right now.
There's barely any gold advantage for them at all, and that's really just about the individual laning prowess of Team Liquid, right? Despite the fact that Jensen actually started by getting a 4-man killed in mid lane, and his opponent started with RJS is down around 20-ish.
RJS, it might have been better for him to go a more aggressive option, like a Darkseal, or just a Thorn Ring, something that allows him to trade a little more aggressively, would have been beneficial.
Because without Mega, Alfari should not be able to actually dive here. It would be way too risky if you tried to go in and then Renekton pops the ult.
So I don't know if I agree with the tier,
from Finn, but it does mean he gives up a plate and drops more farm.
Because it doesn't allow him to exploit the gold advantage he got early on. And others were able to exploit the summoner spell advantage they had in lane. So overall it ended up probably being a net negative for us to make that play, because we didn't effectively utilize it to get an advantage mid lane. Like we've effectively used it to help neutralize how badly RJS has been outlaned. That is a very scary TP, and Griffin's gonna die. Hopefully the damage can be kept to 1. Nope, it's gonna be Smoothie as well. That was well done by Liquid, but why exactly were we there? So we're just clearing out vision after the fact. And we show 4 on this bottom side. They have 4. And they just saw an opportunity to take advantage of their teleport advantage and did it.
Smoothie's in a bad place, and he's going to an even worse one as they send him right back to the fountain. It is a 2-kill play here for Team Liquid. Really nicely done by TL, getting use out of that TP advantage there from Alfari. He created pressure up in that top side, already taken a plate for himself, and doesn't even have to commit that Mega Gnar, using it actually just scoop up the red buff for himself and then go down towards this bottom side. This is just a great play here from TL. Renekton's up on the top side, has no teleport.
Well coordinated.
Coming in here, already has it ready. And notice how Alfari is actually holding it. He knows he doesn't need to commit anything, early on. He's actually positioning to threaten.
So that was well done by Team Liquid. I can't really condemn CLG for being in the place they were. They were as a team clearing out vision, and they left a small opportunity, and Alfari took very good advantage of it.
Who is now down on the bottom side. He'll just be defending against the two-man of Wild Turtle and Smoothie down here as the Rift Herald is summoned up mid. Again, they're recognizing time is running out. Just grab the plate money, get some sort of value out of this.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a full turret from it, so CLG just...
We got something of the charge, which is fine.
Play, right? And
But, like, this right now does not look like a 10th place team.
We should have enough.
A 10th place team would be absolutely getting shit stomped by Liquid.
That is about the deep warding that Team Liquid had. They gave a TP angle for Alfari. Without that ward there,
this is very, very dangerous.
And now Finn in some trouble here up on the top side, but the early ult may prevent any potential dive, so we'll just be that ult for nothing.
Yeah, he buys a wave at least, but it ain't gonna be over here just
Oh, good response there to... I might. So my co-host just got done, so I might add him on right now. So I'll see if I can get him to jump in a call. And so,
yo, what's up, bro?
Yo, so, you caught me in the middle of recording here.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. I mean, the start of the recording was just me lamenting.
Analysis, so.
Yeah, was just lamenting how sad I was that the universe kept us apart.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Well, I can join you if you want. If you want to just finish yourself, that's cool too.
Absolutely. Have you watched the games at all?
I watched game 3. I watched the one we won, and I watched.
Don't spoil things. No.
Oh no.
No.
What have I done? Oh no.
I have not checked CLG's Discord. I haven't checked Reddit or Twitter.
Wait, I was joking.
Since Friday.
Yo, I was joking.
Do not give any of this shit up. Do not spoil the games for me.
Yo, I was kidding. Yo, I was joking. Wait, for real, it was a joke.
Have you actually not watched any of them?
I didn't watch. I did not watch Fly.
Okay.
And I did not watch. I looked at the drafts of both games. The other two. No, I looked at the drafts of this game and watched the last one.
Okay. Yeah, I am 14 minutes into this one. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it. I'm looking.
Okay. So, Team Liquid just tried to dive us top lane. Finn responded well. We just tried to dive Alfari in the bot lane in response. Jensen teleported in, and this is the ensuing chaos. So Turtle died.
I hate our draft so much.
Yeah,
If I recall correctly, we first picked Rel this game.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Because
Rel first pick is not bad. He's really good. Yeah, he's really good at Rel, and Rel's by far the best support in the game.
Yeah.
And she does every engaged support's job way better than they do. So, I like the Rel first pick. It's not bad. I mean, I also wouldn't have minded Kai'Sa, because Kai'Sa's really strong.
Yeah.
But naturally, when you first pick the Rel, you're going to respond with the Xayah, because they're going to take Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
And so we knew coming in we were going to go Rel Kai'Sa the second we take Rel, because they're not going to let Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, I'm not... The Orianna's fine.
Yeah, Ori's good. The problem starts in the second phase when we start banning shit. We ban Nidalee away, despite blind picking Renekton right afterwards, which is a good play, which is a good champ with Nid. And then we also, first of all, I hate blind pick Renekton, but you know that Nora's still up and they're gonna play Nora into Renekton because it's a hard counter currently in lane at least.
Yeah.
And then instead of picking the Nocturne that you so perfectly used against 100 Thieves to snowball, you pick Graves so you can never gank any lane.
I forgot about the Nocturne pick, and that's and we had the same setup for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. Like,
wow, I just forgot Nocturne existed.
Yeah, why do you go Graves? It's a terrible pick.
No, the Nocturne would have been better there.
It's 100% better. And
you could have gone Gragas.
It also allows your mid-game transition to really smooth out, because even if you're behind on Nocturne, you press R, and your mid-game Renekton now has so much agency, because they can't see a mid-game Renekton running at their carries, who are Azir, Kai'Sa, and Lilia. None of which are really good at running away from Renekton, except for Azir, who can.
Yeah, Azir can run away from pretty much anyone.
Yeah. But if they had, if they had this, which is maybe partially why they let the Kai'Sa go through, is because Xayah is a lot better at dealing with Ren and they planned on blind picking Ren later anyway. But none of it really makes sense, because then why wouldn't you just go Nocturne? If your plan is to have the Renekton snowball through mid game, like, okay, well, at least go Nocturne with that comp. That way Ren can run at them, and you have the Nocturne Rel Orianna combo on engage.
Yeah.
This draft was by far my least favorite we've had the whole year. I mean, I know it's only 6 games, but I don't really understand. I don't understand the second ban phase. I don't like the blind pick Ren, and I really don't like freaking picking Graves. The Graves pick is the worst part of it by far, and especially because I don't know if I've ever seen Wiggly have a good Graves game.
Yeah, he tends to have not bad games.
Well, he's just like iconic. He just sits there and forms. I mean, he's not gonna.
Graves is a difficult champion to have impact on in general.
You have to be good at the champion, and I don't think that. I mean, he's a net negative by default because he doesn't do anything, but he's never inting the game away. The issue is you're making your team 4v5 because you pick Graves in a game where you can't gank anywhere. The only place you could gank is bot lane, and they already are solo killing them 2v2.
Yeah.
So and you path top side on your first clear instead of bot side where you can easily get the kills. You're never gonna gank the Gnar ever, especially when he backs and gets plated steel caps.
Yeah.
It's
just weird. And I think even a Gragas jungle would have been a better choice than the Graves. It just didn't.
Yeah, and I like the Gragas flex jungle. It's actually a pretty nice thing because it's a 3-way flex, and which is nice to see. It's always
really
nice to have
that no one's playing
flex.
In
yeah,
jungle.
I mean, I think the biggest issue is it struggles to keep up with the power form junglers, and.
But it has so much more utility than them that
you
don't really need it. You don't need it to because you can just press R at level 6 and have just as much impact as any of.
Well, if you path properly, Gragas actually doesn't get too behind. But I don't think a lot of LCS junglers are good enough at adaptive pathing to ever do it, and like even a lot of top LPL and LCK junglers don't adapt their pathing well, but it's not just LCS, but they're definitely ill tier.
Yeah, I definitely agree that the Nocturne.
Nocturne would have been so good here. Nocturne would have been really nice. Even like any jungler that's not Graves that provides any mid-game transitioning, like Xin Zhao would have been nice here, and Zen's not even that good. Rek'Sai would have been fine here.
Don't speak that blasphemy to me, man.
No,
it's not good.
Bro, Zen provides smooth mid-game transition. He's actually not bad for this comp. The issue, like, when you have this comp, that's what you need, is the mid-game transition.
You're talking about Graves being useless, then you mention Xin Zhao.
Yo, look at our Graves! Look at Iconic playing Graves. He's really good.
I mean, what would Xin Zhao do? he's so linear.
Yeah, he is. But he also provides more in terms of he's actually transitions to late game slightly better than Nocturne, aside from the ult utility.
Like he does like he's trying to provide like the same thing that Alistar does. He just does it worse and takes up more resources.
Well, I mean, he takes up your jungle resources, but those are going to get taken anyway. And a lot of the time, thankfully, it's not a tank meta where in the jungle. At least it's interesting to watch a lot of these junglers. Oh my gosh!
Except,
did you see that?
What are you? Oh,
look at the warrior ult.
Yeah.
Look, he thinks ball is in range of tactical there.
Yeah, that was just bad. This is just such a scattered fight. Like back when where the Oriole could have had huge impact is like right around here.
I think you have to use because Alfari is about to jump in with Meganar. You have to just because the second Alfari jumps in, you have to flash out. He can't throw it there yet.
Right here, and if Santorin or Alfari walk forward, you just pop them, and it buys you time to kill core JJ.
I don't think you'd have the damage because look, Santorin flashes in here, and then Alfari, Meganar, and look, RJS should have flashed right there.
If he presses R. If he presses R right there.
Yeah, with Santorin flash down. I think he can. I think they maybe can kill there.
He would have.
Wait, Smoothie has everything up. Smoothie. Look, Smoothie has everything up right here.
Does he?
Smoothie should just flash engage. Yeah, he has everything up.
Yeah, right.
You just flash engage as Smoothie instead of letting Meganar
cancel out the Nardash.
I don't think he does it in time. Let's see. Go press play. Yeah, he's because it would have started after.
Oh, he threw the ball too far forward for that to work.
Yeah, I think, but he threw it at the right spot to ult Santorin. If he R flashes here to avoid Meganar, they might win the fight. And Smoothie actually engaged. But this is the type of like micro stuff that they look back at a VOD review and say, okay, yeah, this is split-second decision making.
Yeah, and,
the biggest issue is being down 2 dragons and 3k gold after getting a freaking mid-game, early-game transition comp going. I mean,
but what you like really want to do as Orianna is be the gatekeeper and say, like, this is the exact situation where you say, if you go forward, you're fucked. Because I ulti you, you get followed up by Smoothie, then Finn gets on you, we layer it with Griffin and Turtle's damage.
That's my biggest question mark is Core just used his abilities. Their own CD. Why aren't we blowing up Santorin and all inning in a 4v5 right here? We have all sums on our carries. And Smoothie can flash engage here. They're allowing TF.
RJS doesn't even flash that.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue is RJS not flashing or using ult at all. He just didn't react in time. I'm not sure.
Wow,
why.
That's really weird. Because if he flashes towards the team, then you're kind of you're in a very advantageous situation because they don't have Gnar ult. Alistar combo is down. And you have Ori ult, like, you have everything. Alfari doesn't have flash, Santorin doesn't have flash, he just used ulti. Tactical doesn't have flash, like, you're in a very good situation if you flash over here.
Yeah, he just didn't react in time. It's actually a really bad mix. And now...
Smoothie!
Oh my god! No, dude!
Flashes over to engage.
Smoothie engages on the champs that aren't even in the fight now.
Yeah, they're not the threats right now.
Alfari doesn't have flash, and instead of flashing into the champs that are actually direct threats for the fight, you flash over and hit the guys who aren't going to be hitting you. I mean, that's just
And you're playing
bad.
a comp where you want them to run at you.
Yeah, this is bad. I mean, it's just poor execution.
And they're running at you.
There's no way they finish this game and don't go straight to VOD review and see this fight and think, yeah, we actually could have won this fight with better execution.
Yeah.
And then the whiff warrior ult tops it off.
And then Core JJ finishes. Wow.
Oh, that was so bad. But if we had a mid-game jungler here instead of Graves, that fight could be. Would be
that fight wasn't.
That
the
fight
result
wasn't
of Graves.
No, it wasn't. But Graves making the team play 4v5 early game is a problem anyway. I hate that pick here. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's certainly a bad pick.
What's interesting is RJS has had really good flash reactions in most of his games, but this fight single-handedly was really bad for him.
Yeah, that was almost Smithy Sejuani ult level bad fight.
I don't know what like if you watch the game, who they play against. Oh, it was PoE Azir, where he flash reacted to the Azir shuffle. Perfect timing, and flash reacted to Alistar coming out of Fog of War. Was it No, it was Leona. Sword Art's Leona coming out of Fog of War.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to engage. And he had 2 really good flash reactions in that one game. And you're like,
it's just
oh, this guy has good mechanics. And then here, he doesn't even react to a Gnar coming over the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So weird.
Yeah, maybe it's just a different in comfort.
I think he probably was looking at his teammates. Wild Turtle was really low there. He's probably deciding if they can even engage. That's why I'm giving you a break on that fight. I mean, that all happened in like 2 seconds, and they couldn't. They clearly were trying to decide if they wanted to go in.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to get better at decision making, like making the decision in a timely manner, and not overstaying for things when they have advantages. I mean, they've had leads in every game.
Yeah. No, the early game was good.
That was a good engage.
The shockwave follow-up was not good.
Yeah, late shockwave.
Mm-hmm.
Smoothie did the right thing, but
yeah.
I mean, this game's over.
It's killed him if Santorin didn't zone his.
They end here, no? They have to end here. This is just like pathetic.
Yeah, that was just that was a horrid fight.
That's a pretty rough game.
Yeah.
All 5 players alive, pushing on to the Nexus turrets. Nobody from CLG coming back in time to keep this one going. Yeah, Smoothie's here, but what is Rel to do in a 2v5 with only Renekton to help you? Alfari takes a little bit of a shower in the fountain.
Our early game is promising, which is really nice.
We haven't had a good early game in so long.
Oh my god. And we pulled out the creative level 1?
Dude, our level 1s are back to like 2015 when Zix,
I know.
2015 when Zix CLG had all those crazy level 1s.
Vintage CLG.
You love to see that. Bro, just end the game. This hurts to watch.
Yeah. I haven't even checked my fantasy LCS.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't
know. Taito was on my team. I think he went 9-0 that game.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, yeah. I should, end the recording for this episode. So, yeah, that was kind of a bad draft.
Yeah, I mean, I missed the early game, but, I mean, the drafts really hurts. Especially when you have champs that are so good with the mid-game transition with Rel, Ori, Bren. I mean, I hate that Graves pick. I just think...
And just
I don't really know what you expect to do.
Fight in the river, on multiple fronts.
It's also interesting because Graves and Rin are completely polar opposites of what you want within your comp. You don't. It's not great to have Rin and Graves on the same team because they have such different timings on when they're strong.
Mm-hmm. So thank you everyone for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and we will be back for the other 2 CLG games of the week.